When you're like thinking about, I mean, working with a new client, maybe one-on-one or even in person, at what point do you get to nutrition? Do you just try to establish gym, fitness, physical first?
Yeah, it's a good question.
Then, how do you go about
because
that?
I don't think there's a right and wrong there, but in general, we do try to knock out one thing at a time.
Yeah.
So when somebody's making a big change in life, in general, usually the reason that many people are not successful is they try to change too many things at once. So if you're adding a very large habit and making a big change, we usually would recommend to people that you should just make that one change until we feel like we have it locked in.
Yeah.
And that would be the point where getting to nutrition would make sense.
Definitely.
There are going to be some people that like, they kind of push it. They're like, I want to change it all. And sometimes it's like really just having a conversation. There are certain people that can do that. But if I was to put percentages on it, I would say 20% of people can probably make a lot of big changes at once and make it sustainable. And probably 80% need to stick with a small change first.
You're upsetting way too much.
Yeah.
You're trying to make way too many changes.
It's why that so many people struggle, because they look in the mirror one day. They there's frustration that builds up. They look in the mirror one day and they're like, I need to do something big. Right?
Yeah.
I don't want to nobody gets excited or looks in the mirror, gets upset at themselves and is like, you know what? I want to make some small changes over time. So 3 years from now, I'm really fit, right? That's very unnatural to think.
Your internal voice is there.
Never like that, right? So we get it. Like you understand all of that.
Yeah.
But we also know what works. So we're going to try to like really help people and have those conversations to get them to understand that. And I think when there's a little bit of trust there, and a lot of that is like, we're lucky now that we've been in business for about 8 years I think people walk in with a little bit of trust because of the brand that we've built, because a lot of times they've had friends that have come to our gym, etc. So they walk in with a little bit of trust. So when you maybe tell them something that is a little different than what they believe, they're a little bit more open-minded to it. Not to say that's 100%.
Yeah.
But
it's a good point.
Yeah.
You built some equity where it's like, all right, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like they can say some stuff that might be a little off of my core philosophy I developed last night, looking in the mirror after a shower.
100%. Yeah, that's a good way to word it, for sure.